Welcome to Beta Week, and they're already right here. And I'm like, why, you guys? Why? Why are you upset because the Bellas are going into the Hall of Fame? Why? I'm going to be honest here. When I heard that the Bella twins were going into the Hall of Fame, I said, what? You're kidding. I started laughing and said, what? And then 5 minutes later, I forgot all about it. Because it doesn't really matter. The Hall of Fames have been a joke for years. Look, Jim Carrey's in the Hall of Fame. Coco Beware was popular, but he didn't really need to be in the Hall of Fame. If you want legitimate people in the Hall of Fame, Coco Beware and Jim Carrey and several other stars going in the Hall of Fame should not be in there. The Bella twins are like one of them. Look, I'm going to be honest here. Brutus the Barber Beefcake was one of my most favorite wrestlers. And it wasn't because he was great in the ring. And I will be honest here. Brutus was never one of the greatest workers in the ring. He botched a lot. He was not that interesting in the ring. He was boring in many cases. But, and I say this as a good caveat, his segments that was on the barbershop was so entertaining. That's why I loved him, next to him cutting people's hair. But his ring work was mediocre. But he got so much pull because of his best friend Hulk Hogan. He was able to get whatever he wanted. And working the barbershop segments were one of the best things. Look, Marty Jannetty, 1992, Marty Jannetty, I'm about to say Jannetty, got betrayed by Shawn Michaels, got thrown through the glass. I remember when he betrayed him, a guy who was just a few months before that, was not going to watch wrestling anymore because I went to school, literally met my wife there, and my wife could not stand wrestling, and went to work only a year after that. A few years after that, I legitimately had no time, and I couldn't even watch it because the person I was in love with hated wrestling. I couldn't even watch it for almost an entire decade and a half. Well, not a decade and a half, like 11 years. I couldn't watch any general wrestling. Just little snippets for maybe 20 or 30 minutes to an hour if I could even get that. Over maybe 3 weeks or a couple of months. But I never forgot about Brutus. I never forgot about my most favorite wrestler of all time, Bob Backlund. Brutus was second in line to him, not because he was the greatest wrestler, because he was so charismatic when he was in those segments with the barbershop to me personally. And he's in the Hall of Fame last year. And I know people like, well, Brutus is really not that interesting. Who gives a damn? Well, this isn't about doing a fair Hall of Fame. If it was a real Hall of Fame, a true, honest Hall of Fame, Lou Thesz is one of the few people that easily you could say goes in there. Nick Bockwinkel. Hulk Hogan, honestly, shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame, but he was so charismatic. He was so incredibly great. He transcended wrestling to make wrestling mainstream for decades. He deserved to be in there, but as a real full-fledged wrestler, the guy couldn't wrestle to shit in America. In Japan, he wrestled better. So when you see the real Hall of Fame of the WWE, it's a joke. Real Hall of Fames in the Midwest, where they honor real wrestlers who really worked in the ring and knew how to wrestle, who knew real psychology, who knew how to make the crowds care. That's a real wrestling museum and wrestling Hall of Fame because they got actual plaques of these people. They have their ring attire. They have pictures of them. It's an actual place you can go and see. Not this. And I think about down in 42nd Street, which is the Wax Museum. That has huge amounts of wax figures of actual stars and real relevant people. And the WWE is not doing that. They're not making a wax museum. They're not actually setting up a real place where people can go and walk and really feel the nostalgia of these wrestlers. No. It's just a place that Vince has in his damn head and is recognized on videotape. I know that's going a little too far, but that is where it started from. Look, the Bellas are recognized because of two things. No, three things. My mistake. The first one was because they were twins when they went into the business. They started around the same time as, they started around the same time as Tamina Snuka and Natalya Neidhart. I know you can say like a couple of people like Eve Torres and AJ Lee, which easily with AJ Lee and Eve Torres, along with Natalia, those people could be easily put into the Hall of Fame. Eve Torres improved dramatically and was well loved by everybody. AJ Lee was astoundingly good in the mic, was great with her character, and actually Jimmy could wrestle really damn well. And Natalia, you don't even need to say anything. When it comes to her character, was she a great heel all the time? No. Was she a great face all the time? No. She is not, but she can easily go into a Hall of Fame because she is legitimately one of the best female wrestlers that exist. You can say a lot about Tessa Blanchard. You can say a lot about, well, many people say Charlotte is the hot shit and she's not. You can say Becky Lynch. You can say Bayley. You can say even Naomi are great or good wrestlers. But the best wrestler on the planet, on the biggest promotion, is Natalia. And we know she's eventually going to go into the Hall of Fame. For that, mainly. For what work she did as an astonishingly good wrestler that was fully sound in grapple wrestling, could do some high flying. She did great impact work. She had great psychology. That is Natalia. Does she always work out right as a character? No. Does she have bad days? Of course she does. She sucks in many cases when she's not interested. And she had such bad segments where she was farting. I think she really got so frustrated she didn't even care about wrestling right anymore. But she did at least put in a decent to good showing when she really, even when she wasn't interested. But compared to the Bellas, Natalia should be going in now. She's been there longer than any of the current women there other than Tamina is the only other woman that's been on that roster all these years that has no recognition, has never gained a title, nothing. And you can't say the 24/7 title means anything. But in the end, those are the oldest members of the roster. And you could say both of them deserve a Hall of Fame. But they're not going to get it now. Tamina definitely is never going to get it. Ever. I'll be shocked if they do. Unless she sucked a lot of dick or paid someone like Vince. Which she didn't, which she never will. So when you look at the Bellas, does it really matter to them going into the Hall of Fame? Who cares? The Hall of Fame right now still is a joke. And I don't even know what other people are going to go into the Hall of Fame. I don't. But you want to make a bet, if it's another person that's meaningless, people are going to be happy about them because they probably did something they liked. Because it's about popularity with Vince. Vince cares about them because they were twins. They were damn good looking. One of them was dating John Cena. The other one is married to a Bryan Danielson, who is considered one of the most beloved people in the company. How can you not, repeat, how can you not see them going in? But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below what you think. Who do you believe is going into the Hall of Fame next? I have no clue because I haven't been watching a lot of the WWE. Tell me who you believe is going in, or you can tell me who they've already announced next to the Bella Twins. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!